Hello again. Today I thought I would just do a short video that might interest a few of you about a different way of travelling around and carrying your belongings with you. Now, we all know the stories of the Great Depression and how there were thousands of men travelling the roads looking for work, even just a meal in return for chopping some wood, and they carried their belongings on their back or in a wheelbarrow. And I just thought I would tell you about something, a pull cart that I had made to my specs by a local metal fabrication company, which I used to take with me when it wasn't convenient to take my pack donkeys with me when I was travelling and living in the bush, like travelling through national parks, etc. I was lucky to have a family on a farm who allowed me to adjust my donkeys on their farm for free, either when I couldn't take them with me or when they needed a rest to grow their hooves if their hooves had worn down on the roads. But anyway, I'll give you a look at this little cart. It's a bit dirty. I haven't had it out of the shed for 15 years now, since I settled down to look after my parents. But I took this cart for thousands of kilometres. It's travelled with me a long way during the time that I had it, and I'll give you a couple of tips on what I would change about it if I was taking it out on the road again. So so let's have a quick look. Right, now this is the cart that I had made. As I said, I travelled with this for thousands of kilometres around southern Victoria, and it was just perfect. I could fit in 2 bags with my clothes and cooking equipment, put my swag on top, anything else I needed, cover with a tarp, and hook it over with ocky straps to keep everything down. This cart was easy to if I needed it if I needed to transport it anywhere, the arms come off, but this is how the arms come off easily, and it was really nicely balanced. I have a hip strap here, which it's just an old army belt, let's see, which would go around my waist when I was much thinner, when I was younger and much fitter and thinner, and handles. I had these handles extended at one point, but it just worked really, really well. If I was going to take this cart out with me again, there's 2 things that I would change. One is the way the wheels are attached to the cart. You can't see it on the video, but it's only a used thing here. And if I was going to do it again, because on rough roads, when it's bumping around, the tyres would occasionally just jump out of here. If I was going to do this again, I would have another piece of metal bolted on so that it could be it could be bolted underneath here to stop the wheel from bouncing out, but still be easy enough for me to take the wheels off to repair them when I get a flat. Talking of wheels, if you're going to make a cart like this, use road tyres. Don't use BMX type tyres, because BMX tyres wear out so much quicker than road tyres. The other thing that I would change about this cart is putting a hand brake on it, because going down hills can be really dangerous when you've got a heavy load on. If you can't, especially if the road's slippery, a handbrake would have made that so much easier. I always meant to, but I never got around to it. The one thing that pulling the cart did teach me, something that people with horses and carts and ponies and carts don't tend to realise because they're not actually pulling the cart, is even though it's really, really easy to pull a cart on flat ground, any incline, any hill increases the strength you need exponentially. Even a slight hill makes it twice as hard to pull. You need twice as much strength to pull up a slight hill, and a steeper hill is like pulling the whole weight of the cart and whatever you've got in it. So always keep that in mind if you're ever going to be using a pull cart, and if you have a horse and cart. Okay, oh, so dirty. So I always kept a spare wheel on the back, because look, honestly, on the sides of roads there's always broken glass and nails and that. People just throw stuff out of their windows. You're always getting broken flat tyres, which isn't a problem, because bicycle tyres are really easy to fix on the road. And I always had a little pouch tucked up under here with my tools for changing tyres and fixing punctures and things like that. So anyway, I'll give you a closer look at this cart. I seem to have mislaid my tape measure, so I can't give you the exact measurements, but if you want to ask in comments, I'm quite happy to do that. So I'll give you a quick look at what the cart is actually made of. Okay, so the cart is made of this quite strong mesh surrounded by square pipe. I don't know the exact words of these things. The handles are made of the same square pipe with a little thing on there to attach the waist belt to. There's a little handle there so that when the handles are off and it's being transported, you can pull it around. Tyres are just ordinary bicycle tyres. Wheels, same with the spare. There's really not much to it, but I tell you what, it's a great little cart, perfectly balanced. And if I was young and fit again and didn't have my responsibilities, I would take it out on the road again, especially since I sold all my donkeys and pack saddles and everything. So feel free to ask me any questions. Really, if another Great Depression happens, people will be probably living in their cars, even if they can't afford fuel, rather than being on the road with a cart like this. But it might be a good way to experience Australia for somebody, to go on a holiday. I remember when I was a child, not when I was a child, but when I was younger, I used to meet a lot of people on the road, usually overseas backpackers and that, just walking around or bicycling, seeing Australia. But unfortunately, overseas visitors tend to just congregate in the big tourist areas now, and they don't go out into the country as much. But anyway, so that's my little pull cart. And if you're interested or you want to ask any questions, just do so in the comments. I just thought I'd show you just in case anyone's interested. Thank you very much.